Welcome back. You're still on Sunday Express right here on KBC Channel 1. Now, the global challenge in managing solid waste is further compounded by plastics, most of which are not biodegradable.
Now, the menace that are plastic in the oceans, on land and in the air is fueled by rapid urbanization, changing consumption patterns and the growing middle class that use plastics on the go.
Our reporter Opicho Chemutai Jael explores the environment, pollution and health risks posed by haphazard dumping of plastics.
When Alexander Parks invented plastic in 1862 to assist humanity cope with consumption patterns, it was not envisaged that this discovery will become a bitter pill to swallow. Helen Denner, an environmentalist at Greenpeace Africa, says the dangers posed by careless disposal of plastic waste are immense.
When it rains, there's a lot of flooding, and plastic will block the drainage channels and the water channels. There's also microplastics, which this species are ingesting. And not just that, this species, most of us will enjoy, our fish.
The huge demand for plastic has triggered production at tremendous rates that have surpassed the rate at which it is being removed from the environment and recycled.
We only do 9%. That then means a lot of this plastic will end up in the environment, in the marine ecosystem, and even, to our tables in the form of microplastics.
Denner suggests that end users need to adopt the 4 Rs, that is reduce, reuse, recycle and recover, to help curb the high uptake of plastic materials.
Look for other channels of packaging, delivery channels. They should also invest in refill and reuse models. So we don't actually have to keep on going to buy soda in a plastic bottle.
Besides degrading the environment, plastics strewn in the compound collect rainwater that provide habitats for mosquitoes, especially the Aedes mosquito that transmits dengue fever.
Are transmitted by mosquitoes that are mainly bred majorly in containers, and this happen especially in areas where water and the systems are not well connected, such that the population in that area have to keep their water inside homes. But even if you have to keep water in your house, cover.
Dr. Edith Limbaso, a senior research scientist in the Department of Virology at the Kenya Medical Research Institute, warns that to date, dengue fever has no vaccine.
Vaccine trials have been done, especially for dengue, but none of them has been successful, or if at all it has been successful, it's not yet here.
For Harriet, life has not been the same since she contracted dengue fever.
First, it started with joint pains and body fatigue and body weakness. It persisted, and in fact now I started getting headaches. Though the headaches were on and off, I would take painkillers, just self-medicate myself.
As a viral infection, dengue fever has no treatment, so patients have to rely only on management of symptoms associated with fever caused by the infection.
Doctor now put me on medication, but mostly the medication he put me on were pain relievers, because as you know, dengue fever does not have a particular treatment. In my perspective, I thought probably I could be having malaria.
This is one among the many cases of dengue fever. It is so unfortunate that a lot of people who have contracted it have no idea how to handle it. Dr. Esther Getambu explains the prevalence and impacts associated with dengue fever to humanity.
Your platelets can go down to the levels where you start to bleed. All right, bleed from you brush your teeth, you bleed, your nose starts to bleed, you start bleeding from the anal orifices. Dengue also can give you severe shock. You can present with shock. All right, you stand up, your blood pressure falls down, you also go down. And the intervention is just giving IV fluids, giving paracetamol, all right, supportive treatment, feeding somebody, making sure that their blood pressure is up.
The saving grace for the human population is by ensuring that the habitats associated with the mosquito that spreads the virus are cleared.
That mosquito breeds in fresh water, and fresh water is in your house, in the bucket where you keep, in the bottles where you keep, in your septic, in your tank upstairs where you store the water.
Beyond the government policy on plastic waste and waste management, there is need for counties to develop affordable waste collection, recycling and composting. Even in areas demarcated for waste disposal, such as the Dandora dump site, dumping has to be controlled for the sake of those living nearby.
It all narrows down to this. As it is, plastic is a great contributor of health problems, clogging of drainage system, and even it has affected aquatic lives. The question is, are we treating the plastic menace with the magnitude that it deserves? Opicho Chemtai for Channel 1 News.